From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Canadians eager to hear what the newly re-elected Liberal government has planned won't have to wait long. Prime Minister Mark Carney is scheduled to hold a news conference this morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. He is also expected to take questions from the media. Carney has not spoken publicly since election night when he gave a victory speech at an Ottawa hockey arena, promising to chart a new course for Canada away from its intense dependence on the United States. Out west now, where Filipino BC Chairman R.J. Aquino is welcoming the province's decision to declare May 2nd a provincial day of remembrance and mourning for the victims of the deadly attack on the Lapu-Lapu Day Festival in Vancouver on April 26th. Aquino says the day is part of the healing process.
For this to be recognized as a day of mourning by the province, again, highlights how many of us have been impacted by this, how many of us are needing to gather and grieve together.
Aquino says the declaration shows how much the attack has impacted BC, but also adds it's just part of a larger process to help the Filipino community. Heads up, if you happen to live near the nation's capital, a flood warning has been issued for communities on the lower Ottawa River. The Rideau Valley Conservation Authority says in a release that the warning affects communities from Arnprior to Hawkesbury, which also includes Ottawa. The Conservation Society says recent rainfall and snowmelt have seen water levels and flows steadily rising in the Ottawa River. More rain and meltwater are forecasted in the coming days. British Columbia is already dealing with nearly 24 wildfires, with the latest sparking an evacuation order for Fort St. John. An out-of-control blaze is closing in on that community, currently torching the nearby Fish Creek Community Forest. On its Facebook page, city officials were directing evacuees to a local sports center, but a late Thursday update says the Emergency Support Services Reception Center there has been closed. The BC Wildfire Service says 12 firefighters, 2 helicopters, and air tankers are working alongside crews from Fort St. John and nearby Taylor and Charlie Lake. Now an update from Hollywood. The movie that was being filmed when an accident on set killed the cinematographer is coming out today. Here's reporter Andrew Dimbert.
The Western Rust opens today, but there was no red carpet premiere for the movie starring Alec Baldwin.
Arlen Rust. Heaven ain't waiting on neither one of us.
In 2021, cinematographer Helena Hutchins was killed on the set by a bullet fired by Baldwin. Her family wanted the movie completed, according to the writer and director, who also says, quote, "I wish I never wrote the damn movie."
Hutchins' husband and son will receive any profits from the film's release. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, some big news out of the NHL. The Maple Leafs are off to the second rounds of the playoffs. Max Pacioretty scored the winner with 5 minutes and 39 seconds left in regulation as Toronto beat the Ottawa Senators 4-2 to win the team's first-round playoff series 4-2. The Leafs will next face the Florida Panthers. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers punched their ticket to the second round, downing the LA Kings 6-4. The Vegas Golden Knights also moving on, beating the Minnesota Wild 3-2. Both of those series were won 4-2. And the final undecided series saw the Colorado Avalanche top the Dallas Stars 7-4 to force a Game 7. Over to Major League Baseball, where Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 8th inning as the Toronto Blue Jays rallied past the Boston Red Sox 4-2. That was Toronto's second comeback victory in a row. And in the NBA playoffs, the New York Knicks are moving on to the second round, defeating the Detroit Pistons 116-113. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.